All right. So for this first one, to convert it to vertex form, we make our box. X squared goes here. And then we split the -8, which gives us a -4x here and here. C goes on the outside. So what's the number that's going to complete the square? Positive 16. Good job. Whatever I put inside, I have to take it away on the outside. But you all did really good on this. So your test is a week from today. I feel very confident that everyone's going to get this question right because you all do really good at completing the square. So we have y equals, it'll be x minus 4 squared minus 2. Raise your hand if you have that for your equation. All right, your vertex, you have to flip the sign of this -4. So the vertex is going to be at +4, -2. The axis of symmetry, which is the line that cuts it in half, that's going to be at x equals 4. And the y-intercept we could actually do first. That comes from this equation here. Which one of these numbers is my y-intercept?
14.
Yep. So I say you all do really good on this one. I feel like we're going to do really well on the next test. And that is it. Any questions about our bell work? I always pick bell work questions that will help you do well on the test. All right, let's go to page 21 of your notes. Let's get started so we can get done. So today we're going to start the quadratic formula. And the first thing we're going to talk about is called the discriminant. So today's class is only going to be focused on the discriminant test. So in your note packet, page 21. So the discriminant test, what is it? It's the part underneath the radical. It's this part right here. Go ahead and circle, underline, or highlight that b squared minus 4ac. That's the only part we're going to do today. Tomorrow, we're going to do the entire quadratic formula. But for today, we're only doing the part underneath the square root, b squared minus 4ac. That is going to tell us the number and type of roots we're going to have. Okay? So let's look at a couple of these diagrams. All right, still on page 21. This is kind of wordy. I don't really like this. But notice that we have a parabola. Show me with your fingers how many times. So this is the x-axis. How many times does that graph go through the red line? Show me with your fingers. Right. It goes through it twice. So because it crosses through it twice, that tells me that this discriminant is a positive number. It's a positive number. I don't know what it is, but whatever I get when I do b squared minus 4ac, in order for me to get 2 x-intercepts, it has to be a positive number. Now let's look at this next one. Do you see how this quadratic is only touching it one time right here? It doesn't cross through it twice. It only crosses through it once. That tells me that my discriminant is 0. So when I do b squared minus 4ac, I get 0. And then for this last example, it doesn't touch it at all. So that tells me that my discriminant is a negative number. So today we're only focusing on b squared minus 4ac. We're trying to see if it's a positive number, if it's a negative number, or if it's 0. All right, same thing on this one. This shows just another diagram. This one shows that because this doesn't touch it at all, see how it has 0 solutions? That means that we had a negative number when we did it. This one has only one solution. So that tells me when I do my discriminant that I actually got the number 0. And this last one has 2 x-intercepts, so it was positive. So for the rest of the class, we're just going to do b squared minus 4ac. And we're going to do it until we know, until we're good. Hopefully we're good after we do what we're going to finish today. All right, so let's get started. Page 22. Notice how this is already set equal to 0. So what is A, B, and C? A is 2, B is -10, and C is 7. Now, when you do your b squared minus 4ac, this is how I want you to do it. I want you to do parentheses. The square has to be on the outside, minus 4, and then 2 parentheses. In the first parentheses, you're going to put the letter, whatever we have for B, and then you're going to put A, and then you're going to put C. So B is -10, A is +2, and C is +7. Go ahead, type that in your calculator, just like that. And again, I don't really care what we get. I just want to know, is it a positive number? That's the homework, by the way. That's not the notes. Oh, you need some paper. We got paper. Okay, so did we get a positive number, a negative number, or 0?
So does it what sign I use?
No, that's yours. That's your paper. You can do what you want to do with it. I'm sorry. What did we get? Did we get a positive number, a negative number, or 0? Positive. Raise your hand if you agree that it's positive. I don't care what it is at this point. I just want to know if it's positive, negative, or 0. So we got a positive number. So because it's positive, and I hear you all say it's a positive 44, because it's positive, what does that mean? How many solutions do I have? 2, 1, or 0? 2. Going back to this one, if it's a positive number, we have 2 solutions. And that's it. That's all we're going to do today. Let's look at our next one. So this one is already set equal to 0. So A is 2, B is 8, C is 8. Go ahead and make your parentheses, b squared minus 4ac. B goes in the first, then A, and then C. Go ahead, type that in your calculator. Zero. I heard one person say they got 0. We agree? Who got 0? All right, give everybody a chance. That's the formula. The formula is b squared minus 4ac. That's the formula. All right, so who got 0? Raise your hand if you got 0. So because the discriminant is 0, what does that mean? How many solutions do we have? Let's go back to it. When we get 0 for our discriminant, how many solutions do we have? 1. So that means we have 1 solution. That's it. Next. Let's keep going. This one is already set equal to 0. So A is -5, B is 10, and C is -15. So we have b squared minus 4ac. B squared minus 4ac. Type that in your calculator. And always just put parentheses around every number. right, what you all get? Negative 200. Who got negative 200? Okay. So this time we got a number that is negative. When it's negative, what does that mean? How many solutions do we have? Zero. We have no solution, or you could say zero solutions. This graph does not ever cross the x-axis. That's what it looks like. Something like that. All right, let's look at our next one. This one is already set equal to 0. So A is what? What's A? 10. What's B? Negative 4. What's C? 7. All right, so B squared minus 4AC. B goes in the first one, A, and then C. So we got our negative 4AC. Pick up your calculator, type that in just like that. You have to put it in exactly like that. So what you all get? Negative 264. Raise your hand if you got that number. So because it's negative, what does that mean? Zero solution. It has no solution, or you could say it has zero solution. All right, I think we got it. Let's keep moving. We almost finished for today. So let's look at question A. I'm going to give you a minute to try to do this one on your own. So take a minute, try to do this one by yourself. I'm going to come around and see what we come up with. All right, I'm seeing a lot of negative 68s. Raise your hand if you got negative 68. All right, so I'm going to say because it's negative, we have zero solutions. Or you could say no solutions. All right, let's look at question B or C. When we look at question C, notice that this is the first one that doesn't equal 0. So before we could do it, we have to add this 4 to the opposite side. And we don't have any like terms over here because this is an x squared, this has an x. There is nothing that has just a number. So that means we have x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. So A is 1, B is negative 4, and C is positive 4. So B squared minus 4 times A times C. B squared minus 4 A times C. Go ahead, type that in your calculator just like that. solution. What you all get?
0.
Who got 0? All right, so because we got 0, so I'm just going to say the discriminant is 0. That means that we have how many solutions? Show me with your fingers. How many solutions do we have? Yeah, we have 1 solution. Good job. All right, last 2. So now let's do B and D, and then we will end there. All right, this one does not equal 0. This is a tricky one. So this is one that we might miss on the test next week, because this one equals 8. So that means that this is not C. You can't get started yet. This is not my A, B, and C. The first thing I need to do is subtract the 8. What am I going to subtract it from, though? Am I subtracting it from the -2, the -3, or the 13? 13. All right, so now we have -2x squared minus 3x plus 5 equals 0. So now I have my A, B, and C. So let's do our discriminant test. All right, what do we have? Positive who?
49.
49. Who got 49? You can look at her calculator. She probably typed it in wrong. So positive 49. So because it's positive, how many solutions do we have?
2.
Yep, we have 2 solutions. So that means this parabola is going to cross the x-axis twice. All right, last one. A is 3. B is 7. What do you think C is for this one?
1.
No. If you don't see a C value, that means it's what? 0. Yep. That's a good guess, though, because a lot of times it is 1, except for C. C can be 0. So that was kind of a trick question. So we got a 7 minus 4 times A times C. Go ahead, type that in. I think you get 49 again. Positive 49, yeah. So we get the same answer that we got on the last one. So just like because it's positive, we have 2 solutions. All right, so let's talk about homework 6. First of all, homework 6, did everybody pick it up in the front of the room before we started class? Okay, the due date is Monday. So can you write homework 6 is due Monday, Monday, which is September 9th. Right now, the only thing you can do is the back side. So I want everyone to start on the back because the back is the discriminant only. Tomorrow, we'll talk about doing the whole quadratic formula. So take a moment, use this time, work on the back. So you're going to start off by, and where it says number and type, I should probably say that it's either going to be 2 real solutions, 1 real solution, That's the type. When we talk about type, it's real or zero real solution. So when you do the back side of homework 6, the first 3, you're just doing the discriminant test. All right, well, good job, y'all. Y'all did good today.